Good evening, all. Wow, sorry about that. I got so busy. I was out on a dog rescue transport, and then I had to come back from that. I had to take cats up to the vet, and I got back and I was making dinner, all the time thinking Axanar Confidential Friday nights at 10, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit! Wait a second, we changed the time. So all my fault. But hope everyone's doing great. And Mark, welcome. It's good to see you. Everyone knows Mark Edward Lewis here.
You too, y'all.
And by the way, my floor's a mess because I've got the USS Ares blueprints that everyone can get for any donor was able to get for free. And if you have a question about that, send me an email, Alec@Axanar.com. But we had there's still about 24 foreign people that I need to ship them out to. So that's the blueprints. So yeah, I should probably close my door because I've got a lot of cats running around. But anyway, how the hell are you, Mark?
I'm actually really good. I've been visiting family in Los Angeles and for the holidays, and I'm up north in Canada at the moment. And
in Canada?
Yeah, Vancouver.
Oh, I love Vancouver.
I know, so amazing. So I'm in this handy hotel room.
What hotel are you in?
I'm in this little. It's called the.
You're not downtown. You're not downtown at the Sutton place.
No. It's a small little 3-star. It's fine. It's good.
Oh, okay. All the actors, whenever actors get flown up to Vancouver, they get put up at the Sutton place downtown. It's just a grand old, a nice grand old hotel, big bar that everyone always hangs out at. And when we did, I was up. I didn't stay there. Obviously, we were up for 3 months at the when we did the Battlestar Galactica auctions, and but then when we did the Stargate auctions, we were only there to pick up the stuff. Let me scoot this around a little. And so we stayed at the Sutton place, and they had bought the building. They had bought an apartment complex right next door to the Sutton, and that complex they turned into more long-term rooms. So we had these two huge 3-bedroom suites for a week, whatever it was that we were up there. And but yeah, but Vancouver as a whole is just. What are you doing up there?
Just going and seeing the sights.
Yeah,
because I've been in LA for 2 weeks or a week, whatever it was, for the holidays. I'm like, well, I'm here. I just fly up. Flights are cheap, and I haven't been in a long time. I landed in Seattle and then drove, into Vancouver and been driving around. So.
Well, we'll have to talk offline because one of my very best friends, Santino Borelli, who was the assistant prop master on Galactica, one of the greatest, funniest guys in the world. Is there, and if you're going to be there a few more days, he'll take you out and show you a good time. And
amazing.
It's great. So Alexander, let me send Alexander an invite as well, since Alexander has much to tell us. There we go. Yeah, there we go. A lot has been happening in Alexander's life lately, but let's just look real quick at the comments. Frank from Frank Parker is here from No Budget Productions, Phil Farker Productions. He was just down here yesterday. Yesterday we had royalty, fan film royalty in the house. Vance Major visited yesterday.
Amazing.
So Frank, who was the guy he created Dreadnought Dominion, and now to remind me what your I can't keep track of all the fan films. What your show is named now, Frank. So, but anyway, we got a lot of the regulars. Don Alvarez is here, one of my favorite people who lives in San Diego. So, Don, how are you doing? Brian Simpson, hail, Brian. He's there. Sean Walsall Holdren. Salutations from Long Beach, California. We'll take them. Long Beach isn't my favorite place, but. Yeah,
got some nice places.
Wait, Sean, weren't you in Tennessee? Remind me. But anyway, let's. Who else is here? Wilhelm is here. How are you? Mark's Money Secrets. Is that you, Mark?
That's me. Yeah. All my social media is Mark's Money Secrets.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Vance Major was down, and just we had a blast. He's just so awesome. There's Tom Barkley. Tom, how are you? I just sent you something, didn't I? You won something last week, so wow. it got shipped out. I dropped everything at the post office today. Here's some little cats here. Here, come here. Oh, here we go. This is Juno. Juno's my little buddy. Let's coming into the office. Juno is one of the three Musketeers. His little all black brother is just as fluffy as him, and it looks like he's getting adopted. And that's Gus. Man. Gus behind me. Gus, do not throw up on the blueprints, please. Gus. Gus is a sweetheart too. He's my cat.
Hasn't Claire yet let you pet her?
Oh my God. Okay, so I have to set the stage for everyone else. We're going to do a little cat chat here.
Cat chat.
So, Claire is a multicolor, probably medium hair cat, maybe medium or short, and but kind of feral. And she was dumped with 3 other cats back in March, and we got the call to rescue these cats. And the cat rescue that I was working with back then, before we had our own, said they'd take them all. Well, we get a Claire, and Claire's clearly pregnant and about to pop. And Peyton was like, I can't take another pregnant. We have like 3 pregnant or, newly born parents. So I was like, okay, we'll take her. And I was like, Crystal, you ever given birth to kittens before? So we set up the area in our bathroom and everything. She gave birth to 5 healthy little babies and was the best mother ever, because when we had very sick little kittens, we had one in particular, and we took the sick kitten, to a Claire, and a Claire practically grabbed it out of Crystal's hands and nursed it back to health. She did that with 3 different kittens that were not hers, and her 5 kittens got adopted and were just fantastic. So, but she remains feral, and when
there's one of them.
Yes,
she was trying to break out, because I was in the other house at the time, kind of taking care of the kittens and Claire. That's why I was always asking how she's doing.
Yeah, and all the kittens got homes, but a Claire we were going to get her spayed and then release her back outside.
There's the babies.
Oh yeah, there they are. That's one of my favorite photos. I scored on that photo. That was great. And we were going to release Claire back outside.
There's Claire.
There she is. And she's always checking you out. She's like very interested and very like she wants to be engaged, but she's very scared. Yeah, she's a beautiful cat. And so she basically hid in the house here. Once the kids were away in maybe May. Well, let's see. She was in March. Was that March or May, June, July?
Well, June, July.
Yeah, June, July. Yeah. And so Mark moved into this house.
Yeah, that's July 19th. That photo's July 19th.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. And Claire was running around, but hiding most of the time. Came out a little bit for you in the end, right? She would come into your room.
Yeah, that was her. She'd come to the edge of the room when I was like asleep, and she'd be like, "What are you doing in there?"
Yeah. And so anyway, then Mark moved out, and we just kept feeding her and keeping things clean. And then we moved into this house. And when we moved in, and kittens came with us. And all of a sudden,
you're in that house now?
Yeah, now we're in the new house.
What room are you in?
I'm in one of the bedroom that was next to your bedroom.
Oh, the first upstairs bedroom? After the stairs?
Not the one that you have to.
Oh, the one in the middle with all the stuff in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's my new office rather than downstairs, which is a nice sitting room now.
Right. No,
but anyway, so we had all these kittens here, and Claire starts engaging, and she starts coming out, and she still hisses at me, but I let her, every time I walk by her, I let her smell me. And last night she was playing with Crystal's, like she was biting Crystal's finger, and Crystal was able to, and I've been able to pet her nose.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we're like, another year, we'll be fine. So yeah, she said. So anyway, everyone, if you go on Axanar Animal Rescue on Facebook, you can find all about our animal rescue deeds. And there's Alexander. Alexander, how are you, sir? And so Axanar Animal Rescue, we're basically rescuing cats right now. We are fostering a 72-pound Shar-Pei Lab Mix dog. And that just set us back about $8,000 in surgery costs. Yeah, its surgery did not go well, and we almost lost her. But she's fit, and she's an amazing dog. Crystal calls her Penny, the perfect dog. Gets along with dogs, loves the cats, loves the kittens. Totally house trained, perfect on a leash, just an amazing dog. So yeah, and today I transported a cute little wire-haired terrier and a huge Great Dane to Amy, our rescue person. So, but basically, Axanar Animal Rescue right now is focused on cats. It's focused on TNRing. I go out and get cats. Yesterday, we TNR'd 4 cats. That's trap, neuter, and release. So for stray cats and outdoor cats, you get them spayed or neutered, and then you release them back to where they were. So that way they don't reproduce. That way there aren't kittens. And the mostly because kittens have about a 2/3 mortality rate born outside. And those that don't die grow up and populate and have more kittens. So so anyway, there you go. That's our little session. But everyone wants to know about Axanar, of course. You came to find out about Axanar, not Axanar Animal Rescue. And so we'll fill you in. And I'm probably going to have to, the thing I've learned is we've got to do it like 4 times during a live stream, because people will come in the middle of the live stream and goes, "Hey, what's up with Axanar?" Okay, so let's recap. So, but basically, we have 16 of 18 characters shot, and it should have been 6. It should have been 16 of 17. However, what happened at the last shoot was we realized one of the actors we hired, who did a great job, wasn't right for the character, although he was great and he looked great and he sounded great. So we've made a change, and we basically we're recasting that part. Although probably going to use some of what he did as just another character.
Yep.
So anyway, so that adds. So we have to reshoot that, and we have to reshoot one of the main actors who canceled and wasn't able to make it. Oh shit! Reminds me. 3. Okay, I'm good. I've got to call our new the person we're casting for the role we're reshooting. But anyway, it's going great. And so what does that mean? 16 of 18 actors are in the can. That means Mark is already working on post-production. I know you're already working on sound with Dana. As a matter of fact, I was going to say, hey, do you have time this weekend so we can get together about VFX? Okay, I'm going to take a stab at doing some quick Alec storyboard, just of what I think of some of the, and I'll shoot that off to you, and then you and I can talk. And then
I'll be home on the 1st, and I should have my computer back I'll be home on the 1st, so I should have my computer back by the 3rd from Apple.
Cool.
And that's when I should be up and running again.
Yeah, because that's the major thing that you and I need to do right now.
The storyboards for our
VFX. For the VFX. Yep, exactly. So let's get that done. So anyway, it's kind of crazy. We're about to enter the year that Axanar is finally released, which will be the 10th anniversary of Prelude to Axanar. And it's so funny. I always love when the haters say, "Oh, everyone who worked on Prelude is gone. Alex chased them all away." And I go, "Really?" Because I'm pretty sure Mark Edward Lewis was there in the beginning. I'm pretty sure Bing Bailey was there.
Bailey was there.
I'm sure. What's that?
Yeah, Big Bailey was there.
Yeah, Bing was one of the first people that I got on board when it was just an idea. Who I didn't even know him, and he was like, he was already our DIT. I don't know if that was before or after you came on.
I think it was after.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, because I met him at Renegades. That's how I met Bing. Mm-hmm. And then Bing introduced me to Gary Graham.
Oh, is that how that went?
Yeah, Bing introduced me to Gary. We were up in a conference room and he introduced me. And that's how we got Gary. Alexander, when did you come on board?
I want to say 2015.
Okay,
no,
2015.
Or maybe 2014. Either way, you sent me a message.
We'll have to look at it. But anyway, yeah. Alexander was there in the beginning also. And it's like 10 years later, it's like amazing that anyone is still working on this project besides me, right? It's because people come and go all the time on projects. And there aren't that many real principals outside of the cast. And look at the cast, JG's back, Gary's back,
Speaking of Richard, a few nights ago, I was I sent you the photo. We were at
Vitello's.
Yeah.
So Vitello's, just so to give y'all a little info, in studio, is that Valley Village or Studio City, or it's not
Studio City.
Studio City. It's right, because it's right on the border with. There's a and if you understand LA, there's Hollywood, and then there's the mountains. And on the other side of the mountains is the valley, and right on the other side of the mountains is Toluca Lake, which is where famous for where Bob Hope lived. Which is Toluca Lake's the first city in the valley, because if you look at a map, it's the city right there in the lower right at the pass that gets you into Hollywood, and then right next to Toluca Lake is Studio City. So anyway, there's a bakery, cafe, coffee shop called Aroma Cafe,
where I met you.
That's right. And Richard Hatch had moved from up in the valley. He was up in Valencia, and he moved back down, and he had an apartment right there down the street from Aroma Cafe. So he used to walk there all the time. And Herb Jefferson of Battlestar Galactica Boomer fame you'd always see him there reading a book right there at the front out. So he was outside there.
And it's where Richard's acting studio was.
And a couple doors down was it was a little theater, tiny little theater where we had acting classes. And I lived maybe a half mile away. Certainly walking distance if you wanted to. And so that was the second place I ate. I knew Richard for years. I knew Richard since 93. I think it was 93. 15 yarn reunion of Battlestar Galactica is when I met him. And that was Aroma Cafe was the second place that he and I met to talk about him playing Karn. The first place was the sushi place right down there on Ventura, which I forget because he loved sushi. And
sushi.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that was the second we met up back in the court. We'd meet there all the time before class or after class or whatever. And he introduced me to you. We were out on
down the street from there is where he and I would have dinner more often than not at Vitello's.
So it was across the street.
Right, on the corner. They have a speakeasy in there, which is really cool.
They've changed it a lot, haven't they?
That's a lot. Yeah, it's unrecognizable. It's so cool. That's where I was the other night. And that's where we had his wake in the upstairs room up there.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Last time I was actually there years
ago. Oh, really? Yeah, that's the last time I was there, probably. That's where I had a meeting with Jeffrey Combs there.
Wow.
Yeah. To get him to play our Klingon, but he just did not want to play a Klingon. So Alexander, we do need to talk to Alexander. While we're talking about the Axanar update, we do need to talk about the Alexander update. Because Alexander and his lovely significant other just had a kid.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, so Alexander, tell us about how things are going there.
Not according to plan. I'll tell you that. The wee mite he wasn't due until March, but on December 13th, he said, enough, get me out of here. Yeah, it's long story short, the doctors didn't like what they saw in the CTG scans, which monitors his heart rate, blood flow, and just went, right, he's coming out.
Wow.
Everything kind of, I don't believe in. I'm not really religious, but I think someone was looking after him, because he wasn't supposed. The mother wasn't supposed to go in for this scan until January, and he wouldn't be with us by now if they had waited. They brought it forward for some reason. They found an abnormality, nothing immediately life-threatening, but if they hadn't been monitoring it, it could have, turned bad. So they sent Wister off to a specialist hospital, which is 45 miles away from here, and delivered him on the 13th.
Very cool.
And he's doing well for 28 weeks gestation. He's actually doing as good as a full-term baby.
Fantastic.
I saw him today lift his head and turn it.
Oh, nice.
He shouldn't be doing that at this age, but he is.
Good. All right. And he's off the CPAP, you said? He's
off CPAP. He's now on to... We've all seen a medical series where they've got that tube coming down with the prongs that go into the nose. That's all he's on now. And he's off IV lines, so he's fully dependent on mum's milk.
Gotcha. Well,
so
congratulations.
He's doing well.
Congratulations. We're so excited for you, Alexander.
Thanks.
You're really, you're truly one of the stalwarts of Axanar. So God bless you and God bless your family.
Thank you.
I do want to point out Goodney Goodnesson is in the house. Goodney is one of our benefactors. As many of you know, because I've talked about it and I'll talk about it again, is earlier this year, I got talking to Goodney's partner in crime in Dave Lanyon, who was a previous donor. And Dave gave us some money for the January shoot, which was awesome. And then afterwards, we kept talking. And one day he just said, how much money do you need to finish? And I said, well, it's kind of this. And he said, and there was like a hesitation. And he said, okay. He says, I'll cover that. And I mean, even now it chokes me up. And then he said, hey, I'm going to bring Goodney, my partner, into this because he's a Star Trek fan.
David.
And then we will have Goodney and Dave on a future live stream as well, because they're both a critical part of this. And Goodney came to our shoot in October, as did Dave. They both came. And, just so you understand, it wasn't just giving us money. Dave and Goodney basically, they basically said, we believe in what you're doing and we want to see this vision through. And that is enormously helpful. So everyone in the audience, please, say hi to Goodney in the comments. There it is. There it is. Yes, exactly. Just give a hail Goodney. Everyone know that Goodney this is how Goodney spells his name. Goodney is from Iceland, and he is
really? He's from Iceland? I just was there.
Yeah. Oh, were you really?
I was there in August. I spent a week there.
I guess an Icelandic expat living in Japan.
Oh,
so he lives in Tokyo. So
hopefully
we're going we're gonna have a Tokyo premiere. And I don't have it here, but Goodney just sent me a sword of Kalis, a sharp sword of Kalis, which I've taken to the studio and we're going to hang on the wall above the captain's chair. So,
if it's sharp, is that a good idea?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be nailed to the wall. And so anyway, it's been wonderful having their support. And so they came to our shoot, and understand, Goodney flew to our shoot for 2 days. He flew from Japan. I mean, that's a long ass trip, and I've done that trip many times from LA, and another 5 hours to Atlanta, right? Although maybe he goes over. Maybe he went over the. Did they go over the Arctic to Japan? No, that was LA to London.
Yeah, you have to land at Vancouver and then go over. That would.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd imagine they go the Alaska route there.
Yeah. We have a matter of fact. We are going to have a brand new video, behind the scenes video, releasing here soon. Which maybe I can give you a peek at.
Chicago got it.
There you go.
Chicago. There you go. There's Goodney. Goodney, a 14-hour flight. Goodney is just a matter of fact, Goodney, I don't know if let's see if we can. Goodney, do you want to come on and say hi to everyone? Let me, I'm just gonna, oh shoot.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah, if I can get on Facebook. Facebook is so glitchy sometimes. I'm going to try and send you an invite.
He's cooking.
Oh, you're cooking. Is that what he says? He's cooking.
Yeah, sure. I am cooking.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Now I got to get. So now I got to go to my authentication app, which is where? Where's my authentication?
Yeah, I don't know if that means he's actually cooking or he's hot in some way. Who knows?
God, now I'm just trying to sign, of course, authenticator. Although I think an authenticator.
What are you getting an authenticator for?
Double factor authentication, right?
All the haters are trying to hack us. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally are. Yes, there we go. Okay, so
yeah, they have nothing better to do.
No, they don't. And no, they don't. Okay, open Messenger for Mac. Well, okay, Goodney there, because Goodney is, I have Goodney on Messenger, and there we go.
He says both. He's both actually cooking and overheating.
Well, Goodney couldn't eat for like years. Like, was it 6 or 10 years? I forgot what. And he had some issue that he couldn't digest food, and he was like literally living on soup. So now he cured it. Somehow they cured it this past year. So now he's eating again. And can you imagine that? Just having nothing but soup for years, and then you're able to eat again, and it's like pizza or whatever. Yeah, there is 6 years, no solid food. So
that's a hell of a weight loss program.
Wow. Goodney, I sent you an invite. If you just click on that link, we'll pull you into the stream so you can say hi to everyone. And so just again, we're getting sidetracked. Axanar is just, we're in it now, guys, and we are on the home stretch. We're inside 20 yards. We're in the 20-yard line, right? And it's really a lot of it's on Mark right now.
No pressure.
And no pressure. And our VFX team. As a matter of fact, I met someone else who's done VFX for some other small fan films. And I even said, well, maybe you can do some previs for us. Maybe we can say, hey, here's the storyboards, do some quick previs. Might be fun. Because I'm always interested in people who, there's a lot of people who love this project and want to be part of it. So we're going. So the plan, someone asked me about the premiere plan today. So let me say again, on the premiere plan, the plan is right now, and that could change. Red carpet premiere in LA the week before San Diego Comic-Con. Because in LA, we could do it at San Diego, but so many people are there for a day or 2 days. You really need Google Chrome. So if you download Google Chrome, you'll be able to use StreamYard easily.
Firefox works as well, because I'm on
Firefox works as well. Yeah, I use Firefox or Google Chrome. Guys, yeah, the hardcover strip. I'll cover it later, but yeah, it's coming. It's something I've been working on. Okay, that's an interesting name. Thank you very much for those kind thoughts. So Axanar's coming, and it's looking pretty damn good, man. My biggest worry constantly is, God, we just got to make sure we hit that bar that Prelude set, which, was 9 years ago, and it's still a pretty high bar. So I'm always like, oh my God, we got to hit that bar. We got to hit that bar. And I'm probably worried more than I need to be. But me worrying about that is what, allows people like Mark or whoever to go, okay, I know Alec wants this done right. So, we're going to do it right. And if they think something can be done better and might need more money or might need more people, whatever, they ask me. And
Alec's not the only one that wants it done right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And because it's a high bar, and what we want is when it comes out, everyone's going to feel the same way about the next two episodes as they did about Prelude. So, and I still have not found episode 5 is called, or episode 4 is called The Gathering Storm. Episode 5 is, the working title is Crucible, but I'm still not sold on it. I'm not that big an Arthur Miller fan. And despite his interesting choice in women. So we're always open, because Endgame was taken, which was what it was called before Marvel came out with Avengers Endgame. Which of course was the last episode of Voyager too. Was called Endgame. So anyway, Mark, what you want to give us? Is there anything that you can give everyone a little feedback on what's happening?
Sure. It's been the holidays, so everybody's kind of scattered to the four corners of the planet. And first week of January, we're all going to kind of reconvene. Some of the visual effects elements we're going to start updating, start reprocessing. But right now, while we wait for the last shoot to happen, the bulk of the work that has to be done is sound. And it's not just cleaning up all the dialogue that we've shot. It's in how many locations? 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. Actually 5. It's designing and creating all of the, I forget what our count is yet. I think we have 110 exterior visual effect shots, all of which have to have completely unique sound. Fortunately, we've got a good library of these original sounds from Prelude, but Prelude has this many visual effect shots. We're talking about this many visual effect shots at a scale of per shot ships that's like 10x what we had. So whereas in Prelude we'll have 2, 3, 4 ships, in episode 5 we'll have 9, 10, 15 ships, all of which has their own, I'm going to use the word orchestration of impulse drives, warp nacelles, Bassard ram scoops, hull pushes. And you're like, well, there's no sound in space. Yeah, well, we're also not doing 2001. So it all has to have a cohesion to it and a mix to it that doesn't overlap. It's a lot. And on top of that, just because we've got such rich voices like JG's voice and Gary's voice, there has to be a hole for some of those people to be talking over that. So it's right now we're in the generating the sounds, generating the background noise for any of the shots that we have on the bridge. It's because I'm not directly involved with the visual effects, because I'm no artist. I'm managing them, but I'm not doing that art. It's the most work that I do on these pictures, because I get my hands very dirty in the sound with Dana and I and a few of the other folks. For those of you who know the work that my son has done in the Star Wars fan film realm, he's now decided to come in and help me with some of the sound effects. So he's incredibly good at what he does. He's been the voices and the sound effects behind KOTOR, for those of you who like Knights of the Old Republic. So very exciting to have him jump on board. So it's just sound. The edit's kind of as locked as it can be. We're still officially in assemblies because we just don't have all the footage yet that's coming in that last shoot. But once that's done, then as we say, balls to the wall and post. So right now it's sound and just kind of getting the framework around these massive visual effect shots that Alec and I are designing for our visual effects teams. That's kind of where we're at.
T Hammer, let me tell you, if you're in love with Topal, wait till you see the Vulcan that we've got.
Oh yeah.
One of my friends from acting class, Tina, was our Vulcan, and oh my God, she's so good. I'm just so thrilled with her performance. So anyway, you'll have another Vulcan to drool over. Also, we have 2 Andorians in this episode, and so I think you will be very, very impressed with that. We have an old school Andorian, and we have a new school Andorian.
From the pictures I saw.
Yeah, and Steve Inath, the gentleman who played the original Garth of Izar, his nephew plays our admiral. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool stuff. And he was amazing. Holy crap.
He was.
Everyone was talking about him, and I didn't see the footage for a couple weeks, and then I saw the footage, and I was like, okay, that's why everyone's so excited. So excited.
You're talking about Steve?
Yeah. So no, Brian, we did not put her in a cat suit. We put her in a cage costume.
Although the warden.
And if you follow Tina, she's so funny. Whenever I follow her on Facebook or Instagram, whatever we're friends on, and she's like always at the gym. She's like always works out like a demon. So she can definitely strut it. No Wilhelms asks any Tellarites. No, we didn't. That was a bit much. The movie was going to have Tellarites. Once we moved here, we did it, and we actually kill them off. So that's why. So the captain, so we have, obviously you have Garth, you have Alexander and Travis. You now have Trask, who's the Andorian captain. You have what's our Vulcan's name? Arev.
Oh, Arev, yeah.
But we don't have a Tellarite. Oh, that's a heavy lift in makeup. And probably could have done it, would have cost thousands and thousands of extra. So we did it. So there you go. But good question there, right? Good question. Always sexy actors, period. Someone's got to make up for us old guys on camera. Tom asks, which DAW are you using?
Yeah, I answered him in the chat. We're using Logic Pro for the sound design, and we're using Pro Tools for the final mix.
There you go. Yeah, and guys, feel free to ask questions. Any questions you have. You want to ask questions about what, the production, what's happening behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to preempt it for anybody who's just joined. When's Axanar coming out?
Yeah. So Axanar will be out this summer. We didn't finish talking about our plans. So we're, yes. So red carpet premiere, hopefully at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. Goodney has some connections there. The week before San Diego, because you go to San Diego and people go for a day. So much to do. Also, the theater that we premiered Prelude in is no longer there. They totally gutted Horton Plaza and turned it into something else. And so there's really only 2 options for it. There's 3 options. There's the major theater in downtown San Diego, which costs like $10,000 to open the doors. So we're not going to be there. There is one up at the Natural History Museum, which is up in the park. So that would be a cab ride for everyone, right? That's okay. Goodney, we will work with you. I will work with you personally, and we will get you on maybe next week. We do this every week, and I just talked to Dave today about being on, us doing a special one. So we will work on it, buddy. Don't worry. And Goodney's the one really leading the charge on the premieres as well. He's got us going to a big event around the Oscars. Not for Axanar per se, really just he's invited Crystal and I to join him and his lovely wife, who's a fashion designer, at a big Oscar party, and we are totally thrilled and excited about that. So San Diego Comic-Con, we're probably just doing small screenings. There's a small theater downtown that only fits like 56 people. So we'll probably do press screenings each day. We'll probably do like one donor screening, or have you. So that's the plan. And then, we'll see about conventions, about Star Trek Las Vegas, about Dragon Con, what have you. I think once Axanar is done and we have a great trailer and we can tell everyone it's in the can and here's what it looks like. We did that. We had done that at FedCon back in 2014 before it was released. And I think it was kind of funny because I think we just like stunned the people into silence. We had a great trailer. It was a great trailer. And it was a long trailer. It was like 3 minutes long. And it ended with, Tony Todd going, "I do not fear the Klingon Empire." And so we're figuring we haven't even gotten to that yet, to the trailer part yet, because it's not that important. What's important is finishing Axanar. So let me just say, okay, Mark's giving his money secrets, his sound secrets. You have to change your name, Mark's Sound Secrets.
I used to be that guy. Now I'm not that guy.
Well, thank you, Sean. We greatly appreciate it, and we're looking to add to it. So listen, and it's not just Axanar this year, just so you know. And I'm not going to give it away, but there are 3 other creators making Axanar films this year. So you guys are going to be really, really impressed. I think Axanar is going to be kind of like the Avalon universe. And we're moving on from Axanar after this. I may still play Garth. We may still do some things with some other people, but I think I've told you that we're working on an Orville fan film. Very excited about that because we love the people from the Orville. Not only the actors are great. I don't know any actors, but some of our people, especially the people who've just taken over Aries Studios, are close with them. So there's a lot of projects in the works. I know Goodney and Dave both want to do more, and we'd love to do more with them because they're so awesome. As I mentioned, Goodney came over for 2 days, flew in from Tokyo, hung out on the set for 2 days, and then flew back. I mean, that's dedication. Dave came down from Canada, which was wonderful. He hosted the wrap party dinner, which was awesome.
Awesome.
That was so much fun. Let's get to. Will Robert April make a cameo in Axanar, considering the NCC 1701 made an appearance in the Prelude? Will Robert April make a cameo? No, he's not. He's going to be in it. It's not going to be a cameo. He is one of the major characters in the next 2 episodes. He's got a big role, and it's important. So, and you may or may not see NCC 1701 again. I can neither confirm or deny that.
1650, yes.
Did you know that? Okay. No, I did not know that. Is that true? That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see the source for that.
Yes, we all are hoping Orville gets to season 3.
For sure.
Let me tell you that, we want to do an Orville fan film, and I can tell you that the people at the Orville are fans of Axanar. And I think so. Who knows what the possibilities are, but we're going to go back in time. It's not going to be, it's not going to be the Orville. It's going to be early in the days of the Orville, just like we went back in time here for Axanar. We're going to go back in time for the Orville. Just play, so we can play with our own universe, have our own costume, do things like that. But pretty exciting. Do you have any plans to get into other genres like fantasy or Western? No, Wilhelm, we don't. And that's basically because we don't have, I'm not going to speak for Mark and Alexander. I'll let them speak to this. I don't have a passion for fantasy or Westerns. I mean, I like Lord of the Rings. It's, it's fine. But I'm not passionate about it. Westerns, yeah. Listen, huge fan. Tombstone's one of my favorite movies. Love it. Love Silverado. Love, The Magnificent Seven. I grew up on The Magnificent Seven. Love it all. Do I want to make it Western? Not really. So you got to follow your passions. Our passion is science fiction. Mark, what do you say? What say you? Oh, Mark's like, no, I'm going to run away.
There is no. Mark checked out. He's like, this is what I think.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you think, Alexander?
Would I like to get involved in fantasy, something like Lord of the Rings? Absolutely, yeah, that would be cool. But I don't know how my skills would transfer to that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially Westerns. I mean, I like watching Westerns. I mean, The Man with No Name,
Clint Eastwood.
It's awesome, but it's all been done for them. I don't think there's any more stories that you can really tell that would be unique or new, especially Westerns.
Sorry, I'm streaming from my phone, so sometimes it goes out.
It's all good.
I love Westerns. I love fantasy. Yeah, it's a lot of work to tell the same story. A lot of work. A lot of work that I don't really have experience in. I don't have the expertise in understanding how to shoot that kind of incredible set design and wardrobe design. I do in sci-fi, though. So given my advanced age, I would much rather shoot sci-fi to get the same story across, the same subtle themes, the same, passionate worldview. I do like Westerns, though, but I've never shot one. So if it came along and it was the right story and the right situation, then maybe. But I'm not throwing darts at that dartboard right
now. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to pull that one off, Goodney. But yes, so I think in answer to that question, yeah, we're focused on science fiction, not necessarily Star Trek anymore, although we may dabble, but definitely science fiction. That's where we want to play. It must include Star Trek. I've not heard any about this, Eric. I don't see that happening. Yeah.
The way that they've treated fan films and even just fans alone doing things, I don't think they're ever going to embrace anything fans make. I mean, they shut down conventions over here in the UK, which put after they charged for admission, and then anything that was left over after covering costs was donated to charities. They still shut them down.
Yeah,
so they're not gonna embrace anything. They're too near. They're run by Neanderthals, who just go, "Ugh, mine."
And I'm not going to say anything.
It's also they'd lose face at this point. The amount of effort they've tried to shut us alone down. Then say, well, actually, we're gonna embrace you. There's no way.
Yeah. They would never put Axanar on Paramount Plus. Therefore, they're not going to put fan films on Paramount Plus, because if they put fan films without Axanar, that would be in all the trades, and that's bad publicity they don't need. And
not to mention another lawsuit that you would probably enact against them.
So no. Why sue me? Then they let everybody else kind of lawsuit. I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, I've heard stories of the very first conventions in America, people wearing their own homemade Trek suits, and Paramount executives going, well, not executives, but representatives going around saying, "Take our IP off your back."
There was a time back in the 90s where Paramount was really strict about that, but
I mean, it's not like they were selling it; they were just wearing it.
God, now they're. I mean, it's like Kozer Mart must have a deal with them, because Kozer is This is, if you're interested on Facebook, it's Mart, MART.
You do know that the haters are watching, and they're there furiously typing Cozumart into their thing.
What they need to do is license. If they were smart, they would license that guy.
They should, because what he does is far, far more superior to anything licensed.
Well, listen, probably his quality isn't what Anovos was. However, he goes from "what do you think about this" to production in like 30 days. And everyone gets their stuff, unlike Anovos, which
my friend is still waiting. And my friend is still waiting for his admiral's tunic, which he's never going to get.
I got screwed by Anovos. A lot of people did, and it's just interesting that CBS didn't do anything about that. They were embracing Anovos for a long time, whereas
they don't care as long as they got their
Lucasfilm.
money.
Look at what Lucasfilm did. Lucasfilm went out of their way to make sure they got another licensee in to take over the Anovos business, and then make sure that everyone got their stuff. It was incredibly impressive what Lucasfilm did for the fans. Yeah.
And I think they were involved from the beginning as well, because it was Star Wars stuff always seemed to get delivered from Anovos, most of the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, just think of it. Lucasfilm's licensing division is probably, I don't know, I'm sure it's a dozen people, right? CBS's licensing is 2 people, John Van Sitters and Marianne.
And a bunch of unpaid.
John always needed four assistants to do anything. So they're by nature, Anovos was never going to get the oversight from Star Trek that they got from Lucasfilm. But anywho, moving on. What was the? Oh, okay. So who saw Rebel Moon? Either of you guys?
Not yet.
So Zack Snyder, there's a lot of misinformation around it. So I'll tell you, Zack Snyder has, I guess, since high school, wanted to do Seven Samurai in space. And of course, Seven Samurai, Akira Kurosawa, is one of the greatest movies of all time. Probably in everyone's top 10 list of truly, when you start talking about Citizen Kane and whoever, Seven Samurai always pops into the mix. And of course, Seven Samurai has been redone, that concept, the most famous being the Magnificent Seven, which I found out Akira Kurosawa was a fan of. He really praised Magnificent Seven. But they've done it, Battle Beyond the Stars, if you've ever seen that. Or if you're a Deep Space Nine fan, the Magnificent Ferengi, right? Same idea. So that was Zack Snyder always wanted to do that. And then Zack Snyder gets into filmmaking, he gets big, and he actually had conversations with Lucasfilm, and I don't know who, if it was Kathy Kennedy or if it was Lucas, about doing a Star Wars film. And he wanted to bring this concept to Star Wars. That didn't work out. So he got to deal with Netflix, and so he made his movie. So people say, "Oh, it's a failed Star Wars concept." No, it's not. It was Star Wars didn't want to make the movie, so he made his own movie. And I watched it. Of course, there's so many people who pan it because it's Zack Snyder, whatever. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, I just recently saw a headline, so I didn't have time to read it, but it's basically saying that it's actually doing better than what all the reviews, especially on Rotten Tomatoes,
way better than the reviews
might make you think it's doing.
Listen, at a certain level, it's derivative, right? Seven Samurai, right? That it's basically the Seven Samurai. But like I always say about Avatar, Avatar was totally derivative. It was Fern Gully in space. Come on. How often have we seen
exactly what my friend calls it?
Science fantasy or fantasy, right? But Cameron just did it better than anyone else, right? So if you're going to copy, be the best at it. So I liked Rebel Moon. I watched it. I really enjoyed it. Visually gorgeous. Snyder keeps it simple. He's got great actors in all the different roles. I mean, I could watch Damon Honshu all day long. That guy is so impressive.
Gents, I got to run. Got dinner plans.
Oh, you go have dinner in Vancouver. Where are you going? Any place special?
Undisclosed location.
Have fun.
Okay. Bye for now.
I'm giving it a big thumbs up. If you're a science fiction fan, you've got to watch Rebel Moon.
I've hovered over the play button a couple of times, but then I've went. I'm just too tired for this right now.
Well,
I need to find a time when I've got a bit of time. So
yeah,
I definitely want to watch it.
Please do, yeah, and then we can talk about it because there's no. I watched it, and other than it being derivative, other than me, I'm going, okay, I've seen it all before. Okay, it's Seven Samurai, first of all. Okay, nothing new here, nothing really. I mean, nothing groundbreaking, but okay, execution-wise, it's brilliant. It's really, really good. So, and it's got a couple of twists and turns, and so
because Zack Snyder's involved, I expect it to be a slick production.
And Goodney loves it too.
So that a lot of people say, "Oh, Zack Snyder, that's going to be blah." Actually, no, I think that means it's going to be good.
Yeah,
I haven't watched anything of his that I didn't like. Even the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, I thought that was great.
It was much better than because I watched the first one. And I'm like, Then I watched Zack Snyder's cut, and I'm like, okay, that's better.
Oh yeah,
even with the CGI upper lip.
Yeah. No, it was Zack Snyder. The one thing I just saw, of course, he didn't direct it, but I just saw the sequel to 300 Rise of an Empire. Also very good. Not a Zack Snyder movie, right? He was just a producer. But you can't say that Zack Snyder movies aren't interesting. Visually, the guy's got it going. And I love watching behind the scenes. I think Zack Snyder is his relationship to movies is like Martin Scorsese's relationship to movies, right? When you see Scorsese behind the scenes, the guy is just he's an artist and a scientist at the same time, right? Scorsese knows what lens he needs and the distance he needs to be from your face, but he also understands composition, and Snyder's that way too. I'm really impressed with Snyder's work. Visually, he's better. I mean, sometimes the stories, I think he needs to work with great writers, which I think Scorsese always does. So I'd like Snyder's writing to get better, but other than that, I love his movies. I mean, what movie has he done that just sucks? None. I mean, you may not like,
can't
Batman,
think of any.
Superman, or you may not like Man of Steel, but they're good movies.
I loved Man of Steel.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't understand the hate for it. I thought that was brilliant.
Oh, well, you should talk to Crystal. She'll help you understand.
I'm sure she would. But yeah, I thought it was a perfectly good film.
Yeah. I'm totally with you here. I mean, they've leaked the storyboards and such for the future, what Zack Snyder had planned over 3 Justice League movies. And it was dark, but you know what? Damn, I would have loved to have seen it. His Justice League movie is way better than Joss Whedon's. It's way better.
And that's saying something because Joss Whedon does good work.
Yeah, Joss is good. I don't think Joss's JLA is his Justice League movie it does not compare to his 2 Avengers movies. You know, Avengers and Age of Ultron are both way superior films to Justice League. And for whatever reason, you know, he came in late, rewrote whatever. But he does great work.
Precisely. This is why I'm bored of all the superhero films now, because they're all exactly the same. Every single one of them. New foe comes along, beats them up. They rally and they manage to save the day. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the true reason why the latest superhero movies have just bombed, because I think people are tired of it. They're like, try something new, please.
Yeah. You know, and the one thing I will listen, Sturm, I don't necessarily disagree. It's going to be the challenge is, I think, as great as James Gunn is, you look at their schedule of what they want to produce, and I'm like, oh, that's way overly ambitious. Way
daily a dollar short.
I mean, you're trying to produce more content than Marvel is making. And Marvel has been doing it for, 15 years now? I just, and also, do I really need to see, you know, a Booster Gold movie? No. Or TV show. Did I need to see Blue Beetle? No. You know?
I've not watched it.
I mean,
I watched the trailer and I'm like, eh.
Yeah. So, we will see.
I think Aquaman has bombed purely because they continue to keep She Who Will Not Be Named in it, even if it's in a reduced role. It's like a big FU to Hollywood's least favorite person at the moment.
I don't really care. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care too much. All I know is that she is paying for what she did. Just not.
Well, they just settled today, or yesterday.
Yeah, I think she's paid a little bit, and he's went, that's enough, because
they agreed to settle for $1 million.
Yeah, which
he
then sent straight off to charity.
Is that what it is?
He doesn't need the money.
No, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't. Yeah, and I'm like, why? You know, I think replacing Johnny Depp in the Fantastic Beasts series was a major mistake.
Oh yeah, that was just all everybody just jumping on the gun on the word of one person. I mean, Christian Dior, they went, no, we'll keep him. You know, and that's a big company. You know, so he was still there. He was still the face of Dior all the way through. You know, so he's got that at least. But there's a lot of people who are really bitter that they still kept her in, and I think that's probably something to do with. Yeah, because
I mean, I was all for, you know, following the case, I was for Johnny Depp, but they both behaved badly.
Oh, absolutely. But she's the one that lied, and
we were yeah.
You know,
but still, I don't care.
The fact was that it's the duality of it all. Depp was dropped like a hot rock, just on the word of someone.
Which I totally disagree with.
And now that it's proven that he was largely innocent and she made most of it up, she's not being dropped like a hot rock. So a lot of people don't like the hypocrisy. I think that's what it is. But I'm guessing it's mostly down to superhero saturation. A lot of people, we're done with the superhero movies. They were great when they first started. Yes, awesome. But now it's like, this is the same thing with just, to swear a little, same shit, different pile.
Yeah. I mean, Quantumania was just, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. Right. And you know, the challenge is not that these movies are woke, because I'm sick of that criticism. It's such a bullshit criticism. The challenge is that they're not, one, there's too many. Right. I mean, listen, Yeah. Okay. I can see Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, JLA, or I can see Ant-Man. Okay. You know, and listen, I like the first two Ant-Man movies, right? But I also think Kang was a bad choice for the villain.
Well,
So
certainly made a bad choice with the actor.
Well, yeah. Who was great? I mean, he was great in Loki season 2. I mean,
I've not actually seen that yet.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I loved season 1.
Oh, season 2 is 3 times better.
I just haven't had the time recently.
Yeah, I get it. No, but Loki season 2 is just amazing. Hey, okay, if anyone's joined in lately, let's just do it. We're going to do the Axanar recap here for people who just joined us up. But we are almost finished with principal photography, and we'll be finished by probably mid-February. We're in post-production. We're planning to release this summer. It's going to be awesome. There you go. There's your update. If you, it was interesting. I think Kang is a comic book villain too. So trying to make him human, like he who remains, that was an interesting character, right? And God, he was so good at it. His 18th, 19th century self that we see in Loki season 2, wow, that was really interesting. And Jonathan Majors was really freaking good at it. But, once you got to the Council of Kangs, you were like, okay, I don't know. Did they really seem that imposing to you? So word is Doctor Doom is going to be the new big baddie. They've renamed Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty is just going to be, I think they're extending the Secret Wars into 2 episodes. Season 2 and Nemesis. Should I call you Nemesis? Should I call you Eden? But anyway, yes, season 2 is definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I just need to find the time. I fully expect to do so at some point. I saw the first episode.
We were. By the way, we were talking about Axanar, Brian.
Oh yes, but as per usual, feature.
If you have questions, go ahead and ask. But we want to make sure that we talk about other things. But if you're new, you just joined in the stream and you don't know what's going on, just ask and we'll tell you. How's the cooking going over there, Goodney? Goodney sent me a photo of him cooking with his chef's hat and his bat'leth. Let's see if I can. How did he send that? He sent that on. Oh yeah, I can send here. Let me do this. Okay, I will download it.
Says it's going great.
I'm gonna. Let's see if I got. Oh, there he is. All right, let me put this. Let me put this photo up. You guys can all see Goodney, and you can see this is a great photo. Great photo, Goodney. I hope. All right, here. Oh God, I just noticed your George Burns statue. Oh, that's not right. There's Goodney cooking away with his. You'll notice the leather coverings on the tips of that sort of calyx there, because those are very sharp. It's sharp metal. I got a package one day, and nice. But you can see in the background, you can see that he's got a Maria from Metropolis. He's got a little George Burns statue. He's obviously
he's even got he's got Andy Warhol back there. Wow, he's got 2 Andy Warhol collections.
Yeah, and he's got a whole bunch in those cabinets back there. He's got a whole bunch of Star Trek props too. Yes, Nemesis, that is the robot from Metropolis.
I thought Dana's gaff looked cool.
Bat'leth, yes. Did I say it incorrectly, Ryan?
Bat'leth, no Bat'leth.
7 Salvador Dali. How's that?
Nice.
Trent says Dr. Doom is an iconic supervillain. I don't expect Disney to do the character justice. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you. But I don't know. I think they've done a lot of other characters really well. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. And we'll see who they choose, because it wasn't their word that Mads Mikkelsen was going to play him, which is an interesting choice. Mads is amazing.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
You say? Ooh, yeah. Is it still squirming? It needs to still be squirming.
It needs to be live.
It's best.
Don't overcook.
When it's wriggling as it goes down.
Don't overcook it, Goodney.
I don't think that you even cook it. I think you just spice it a little and away you go.
Nope. Here's Sugar. Hi, Sugar.
Oh, kitty cat. My cat gave me a rude awakening the other night. Poopageddon doesn't even cover it.
I've got it. We're gonna have to end it in the near future in the next 5 minutes. So I've got one of our foster parents is coming to pick up her cat that I took to the vet today. So it's one of the cats in our rescue who's with another foster. Of course, the haters think it's all an illusion, and we don't.
I've been there. I've helped muck them out. I've helped feed them. It's real. I've seen people come in and take the cats away after signing for them. One of them was, if I remember correctly, a police officer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Came in and made the decision on the spot. He had been looking at the cats for quite some time, and then we happened to be there cleaning them out, and he got talking to us, and he made the decision on the spot. Went around the place, because the cages that they get kept in, so people can see, is actually inside a pet store with pet supplies and everything. So this guy went around just starting grabbing stuff off the shelf.
Yeah.
And just loaded his car up with everything, and then took the cat, plonked it in there, and away we went.
I'm trying to think. I think he got Archer, the black cat.
I can't remember. I can't remember for the life of me now.
Yeah, I think that who's one of the first one. But we just adopted out another black cat, which is great because we have too many of them. So I
don't know what people have against black cats.
I love black cats.
I've got one, and he's the most lovable thing ever.
I wish. I wish. Who's under there? Is that you, Sparky? Sparky, come here. Is that you? No.
Let me answer that for Alec. No.
No, unfortunately not. Long story behind that. It's unfortunate that Christian Gossett, our first producer, kind of poisoned the well with Tony, which is just amateurish and bullshit, and kind of. It's always interesting that the people that leave the production who don't act like professionals, they never see success afterwards. That's not the reason. It's that they're not professionals.
A lot of professionals see their behavior online and go, "I'm not trusting this guy with secrets." Wilhelm
Stars, a Superman or Batman movie set in the 1930s or World War II, like in the original comics. I love that idea. Let me tell you, my good friend John Munchrath, who played Dr. McCoy in Star Trek New Voyages, he's amazing, Doc John. I just talked to him yesterday. And he was always like, Superman movies need to be set in the 30s. That is when that character does best. And I've always agreed with him. I've always thought that's a great idea. I mean, that would be amazing. Batman, yes, I'm all for it. I love that idea. I don't think that's something we can do, but yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, it was Archer, as in Captain Archer. Yeah, that's how he got his name. Andrew Smith says, hello from the UK. Axanar release in 2024. Yes, summertime. We've been talking about that, but we'll recite it for you. We've got 16 of 18 characters in the can. 1 day of shooting left. We're in post-production. We'll be releasing this summer. So stay tuned. It'll be great. We have Goodney Goodnesson, who you see here in the comments, and Dave Lanyon are our benefactors, our executive producers now. Like in old movies, an executive producer is often the money guys, our executive producers. What are you doing over there? Are you doing okay? How's that eye doing?
The clue is in the name. They produce.
Do we need to put medicine in your eye? Oh, yes, we do. All right, I'll get to it when we're done here. Yeah. So
Alec wasn't a cat fan for quite some time, and then he got given this. What was it? It was a litter of cats to rescue, and you've been hooked ever since.
Yes. Yeah.
Cats are the superior species.
See, now I can be a supervillain. No, Mr. Kirk, I expect you to die. Let's just see. There's Stogie. Stogie, how you doing?
Hey, Stogie.
Stephen Ross is here. How are you, Stephen? Santo, how are you?
Shout out to Stogie, who's got that lovely YouTube channel where he walks along esplanades or takes you on a drive through the American countryside. He even has a couple of my videos.
This cat has 2 different color eyes. All right, we're going to take care.
That happens. That does happen. They're usually not black. They're usually white when they've got 2 different eye colors. Bit too much hair for Mr.
Eden, you're already one of our favorite commenters. So welcome to the team.
Olive Drab is here as well. I don't know if you spotted Olive Drab in the comments, but they're there.
Yes. Have you seen this?
I have. Yeah, he's done a really good CGI setup of Wolf 359 using. He's captured some footage from Best of Both Worlds, and cut it up and put it in and along with some CGI scenes of ships. Although I do take issue with him having a Galaxy class at Wolf 359 because there never was one and destroyed other than Enterprise and Yamato until obviously much later on with DS9, and every ship at Wolf 359 was destroyed. Other than that, fantastic work. I do recommend it.
I'm just sending it. Goodney, I just sent you a message.
Half a galaxy. Yeah.
I can't really answer this question, but no, I think we're going to continue to have. I think the good Star Trek is continuing. Star Trek New Voyages, Prodigy.
They've not ruined it.
They've not
ruined it. They've not ruined it.
No, I think all 3 of those are great examples.
Yeah, some people might think they have. A lot of people stopped watching after Discovery and haven't given anything else a chance, but really you should. Not everything's to everyone's tastes. For example, Lower Decks. My friends are laughing their asses off at it all the time, and I maybe laugh once or twice in a season because it's a little bit too Rick and Morty for me. Yeah. But I appreciate the work that goes into it and the Star Trek lore that they put in everywhere, even off-screen lore that they've put in, like the Spock helmet from the 70s. You see someone holding it in the background. And I'm like, I get it.
I know, it's great. It's great. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up, but I want to say a couple things. One, make sure you go to our website, axanar.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Up top, you'll see it says newsletter. Click on that, enter your info. That way you get all of our emails on a regular basis. That's one thing. And 2, subscribe here, hit the notification bell, get notifications. We're starting to ramp up, and We will be continuing to doing our live streams, posting updates. We have a big behind the scenes film. It's about 7 minutes that's coming out about our last shoot. And that will be probably first of the year. We might release it for New Year's. So stay tuned on that. But get on the newsletter. That's the most important thing, because that's how you're really going to find out everything. Follow and if you go to Axanar.com, check out our blog. We got a new blog that's starting called Axanar Legal Watch, which tells you both what happened in the past with CBS and Paramount and our current, some of the current legal issues that we have with director who filed a fraudulent copyright on our script. But we answer other questions that people have. We just talk about things like copyright and fan films and fan film guidelines and whatever. So that'll be fun, but it's always meant to be fun. And there you go. Alexander, we are wishing you and your kid the best. God bless you. I mean,
yeah, he's doing fine.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, we're hoping he gets moved to a hospital a little closer soon.
Sci-Fi Nation, please email me, Alec at Axanar.com. Because yes, love to do it again. Absolutely. I know someone else wants an interview. We're doing a podcast with someone else, and Stogie just released the podcast, or he's got it for me to review. So I'm going to check it out, which of course is released here on YouTube channel too these days. And there you go. Happy New Year, everyone. If we don't see you before then, we'll probably be doing a live stream on New Year's Day and releasing the new behind the scenes video. So stay tuned for that.
You guys are in for a treat. If there's anything like the assembly that we saw in August, which I'm sure is much further on than that since. Wow.
Well, no, this is a behind the scenes. This is not.
Oh yeah. No. What I mean is, if that's anything to go by.
Oh yeah.
I know what you guys have got cooked up.
Yeah, it's great. So there you go. Jen's next says all the best to Alexander, to your little trooper.
Thank you.
Puff, you and Mom. Thank you so much for that, Jens. Goodney, Happy New Year, my friend. We will talk soon. Love you, my friend, and thank you for everything you do for Axanar and for all these fans here. It's wonderful. So I don't know what
meow meow.
Oh, is that meow? Is that meow meow in Japanese?
Could be Icelandic spelling of it.
Oh, okay. Okay, and Tesla already saw it, and it's a little better than when you saw it, so that's good. That's good too. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We are going to step out. We appreciate everyone here. Sign up for the newsletter. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back most likely on New Year's Day, so stay tuned. Any questions you have, Alec at Axanar.com. Check out our website because we just posted all the financials, all the donor financials from 2014 to 2016 if you want to see where all the money went. And if you have any questions, you know where I am. I'm so excited. This is the year, man. This is the year it comes out. So thank you so much. Alexander, my friend, live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
And to your family.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you soon.